Good morning and welcome to a new vlog. First of all, apologies for the absence of vlog last week. I was ill. Did you just chuck a pine cone at me? You look so guilty. Why did you just chuck a pine cone at me? You didn't, because she was over there.
Yeah. She wanted it before.
Yeah, apologies for the absence of the vlog last week. I was ill, so I had zero energy to film a YouTube video, but we're back. We're back with a week of what was going to be my first run today, but I might be working at the cafe. Not sure yet. But yeah, a bit of training, a bit of pottery. I'll actually have to show you the finished product, or two of the finished products, when we get home again. Made Steve a mug, obviously. Made Steve a mug, and then I made like a little spoon rest. So I'll have to show you the finished product. But I got so into it that you can buy like a 5 card or a 10 card, so you can go back that amount of times and just use the studio. And then they'll use the oven.
She's got that into it that she's now started to look at houses for us to buy that has space for her own pottery studio. That's how into it she's got. Not, yeah, you've bought a 5 card, but you're also thinking in the next decade I'm going to have pottery studio classes, and I'm going to have a whole unit worth of like, what are they called, burners, ovens,
No.
table turning top things.
Wheels.
Wheels. You're going to have it all. That's how much you've got into
No.
it. Yes.
No.
You showed me a house last week. You're like, oh, it's got a little bit out. There's an out-the-house bit that could be for like a pottery studio.
Yeah, I eat a wheel and an oven for me, not to do
exactly.
classes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, I'm going to cut this bit out because he's annoying me.
Anyway, yeah, I got right into it and I want to get better at it. Something that up until now really relaxes me until it goes wrong and one of the pieces just flies off the wheel. Let's talk again then. But no, so I went back last Friday and I was there, got there at 4? 4:30? I was home at, 9:30? He claims I don't love him anymore.
What did you say?
You claim I don't love you anymore because I was at the pottery studio for 5
No,
hours.
you just abandoned us. I had to go out hunting that day because there was no food. There was no made food, nothing.
So weird because you can then not see them.
You don't see the Avengers. The Avengers spaceship goes invisible, doesn't it?
The Avengers spaceship.
Goes
Invisible.
yeah, doesn't it?
You think that was the Avengers spaceship?
Well, it sounded very much like a spaceship. And where is it? Thor's coming. Thanos is coming.
Anyway, back to pottery. That's what I got up to on Friday. And the things that I made on Friday are now dry enough to clean up so they can get fired on Thursday. Anyway, yeah, I've gotten right into this. It's so much fun and I do want to get better at it, but I know the majority of you don't tune into this channel to hear about pottery. You tune in to hear about training, but I think you're going to have to put up with a bit of both from now on. Yeah, I was planning on going out for my first run again. First run in, God, I can't even remember when my last run outside was. It was probably I don't actually know if I've ran outside after Oslo.
I don't think
No. So yeah, it must have been September. October, November, December, January, February, March. 6 months. First run outside again in 6 months, but got a message from the cafe that I used to work at, asking if I could work today. So if I am working today, I will not be going for a run. If I'm not working today, because the hours that I can don't fit, then I will be going for my first run again today. So yeah, I will pick you up either when I'm going for a run or when I'm at the pottery studio. You're tired. Hello. You're a fucking psychopath. You're a psycho. As you can see from the attire and what I'm doing and what the puppy dog is trying to interrupt, yeah, you can tell that I'm going for a run. My first run, as I said on the walk earlier, my first run in like 6 months, but the weather is lovely. So I thought, why not? Just an easy run. It's the back end of a cold, but I feel a lot better. So, yeah, just an easy couple of Ks, probably like anywhere between, I don't know, 3 and 5, I think. I'll assess it 1.5K and see how I feel. I'll assess this again at 2. I'll assess again at 2.5. But yeah, nice and slow, Steve has said. A nice and slow run. Will probably do me good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've not ran all winter just because of how minging the weather has been. But the sun's out, so let's pick it up again. As soon as I put like my workout gear on, as soon as I put my workout gear on, I was like, oh, I've missed this. I've missed open road running. Look at me sounding like a pro. I'm not, but yeah. So that is the plan for just now. This is the weather. Blue skies and open roads. Here we come. Well, that was lovely jubbly, that was. First run back and it felt good. And surprisingly, I've not really lost that much speed, I would say. Obviously that was my first run back, like outside. I've done a couple of like interval sessions on the treadmill over winter, but that was my first like longer, slower run, I suppose, outside. I did 5K in the end. Took me 31 minutes 38 seconds. and my average pace was 6:19. Garmin says 6:19. So first lap was 6:17, then a 6:12, a 6:09, a 6:39, because I did stop and take a couple of pictures and a couple of videos, then a 6:18, and then a 5:45 for the last 100 meters or something. So yeah, an average of 6:19, which in the grand scheme of things, I shouldn't really I'm not that worried about it, but I shouldn't really pay overly much attention to that because it was my first run back. But I just can't help myself. I'm just interested in stuff like that. And yeah, so for being my first run back outside and for just having been ill, I don't think I've lost too much speed. I usually come back, when I come back after a little break, I usually sit about 6:30. Yeah, 6:15 to 6:30. So that's smack bang in the middle. So I don't think it's going to take me overly long to get back to my normal paces, which are, to be fair, not that far away from it. My warm-up was usually about a 5:45, and then like my easy pace used to be like 5:30ish. Yeah, 5:30ish. And then my speed work or my intervals used to sit anywhere between like a 4:26 to a 4:45, 4:50. That's where like my interval speed was at a couple of months ago. But yeah, roll on spring and summer. I cannot wait. That was a gorgeous run, as you would have just seen. That was a gorgeous run, and I can't wait to get out more often when the sun is shining, and hopefully this summer get a bit of a tan. But yeah, I'm showered, as you can tell. I'm showered, I've had lunch. I'm going to sit and do a little bit more work. I've got to set a client up with a couple of meal plans. And then in about an hour-ish, I'm going to check the stock market, because I've gotten right into that. Check the stock market. and then at 4:00, I'm heading to the pottery studio. So I thought I could bring you along and I could show you how far I've come along throwing on the pottery wheel, but I've not come very far. I'm still in that learning and failing stage, but you might want to follow along. So if you do, then cue the next couple of clips. Hello from Editing Cassandra. I'm sat editing the video that you've just watched and I've realised I've not actually shown you the two things that I got home at the end of my pottery class. There are more things, but I don't think I'm going to get those until a little bit later on. It was like the last class and they now had to fire and trim and then glaze and fire again. So it might be a couple of weeks for that yet, but I thought I would show you the two things I did get home. First, the mug that I made that you would have seen if you've watched previous videos, the mug that I made for Steve turned out like this. He was very, very happy with it. I'm very happy with it for it being like my first ever thing that I've made. I'm extremely happy with it. I would have liked it to have been a little bit higher, if that makes sense, but I suppose that's a good lesson in learning how things shrink in an oven. This was quite big when I made it and it shrunk the first burn and then I think it shrunk again after we glazed it, but yeah, Steve was extremely happy with it. When I came home with it. I love the glaze as well, how it's like goes from like dark to like light blue speckled. So yeah, very happy with that. And then the second thing I made was a little spoon rest for when we make our coffees and we have to stir it. You can put the spoon like that. So that's how that finished looks. This is like speckled clay, so the speckles, I've not put them in. They were in the clay already. That's the unglazed bit. And then that's the glazed part. But yeah. Again, for being like my first two items, I'm chuffed with that. As you would have just seen in the last part of the vlog, I went back, was it last Tuesday? Yeah, last Tuesday, or the Tuesday that's just gone, and I was practicing what's called pulling walls, so getting it from quite a low shape, opening it up and then pulling it up, so I just practiced making mugs and bowls. So that was a winner, the one that you've just seen, and then I made a little espresso cup as well, and then like more of like a teacuppy style mug cup. So very, very excited to see how they turn out. But yeah, come to the end of the vlog. I just wanted to obviously jump on and show you my creations and just say thank you so much yet again for clicking on this video and for giving me the time in your day to watch it. It does genuinely mean so much to me. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, please do hit that subscribe button, and if you wouldn't mind and if you like the video, please do give it a cheeky thumbs up. It just helps push the video out to more people, and I will see you in next week's vlog. Bye bye.